Hi, welcome to Noah Reads Wikipedia, where I, Noah, will just read Wikipedia. Today's article is car suspension. So, suspension is a system of tires, tire air, springs, shock absorbers, and linkages that connects a vehicle to its wheels and allows relative motion between the two. Suspension systems must support both road holding/handling and rider quality, which are at odds with each other. The tuning of suspension involves finding the right compromise. It is important for the suspension to keep the road wheel in contact with the road surface as much as possible, because all the road or ground forces acting on the wheel do so through contact patches of the tires. The suspension also protects the vehicle itself and any cargo or luggage from damage and wear. The design of front and rear suspension of a car may differ. So if you don't know what suspension is, it's the thing that shocks and makes it so on the road when it's all bumpy and shit, it's like, calm and peaceful. So that's just a quick, little paragraph summary. And then we have the history of it. An early form of suspension on ox-drawn carts had the platform swing on iron chains attached to the wheeled frame of the carriage. This system remained the basis for most suspension systems until the turn of the 19th century. Although the iron chains were replaced with the use of leather straps called thoroughbraces by the 17th century, no modern automobiles have used the thoroughbrace suspension system. So, what I gather from that is it's a suspension system just of leather straps, and I feel like we should use it. I think it would be a good idea to use that as suspension. By approximately 1750, leaf springs began appearing on certain types of carriages, just as the line metallurgical knowledge and skill, and only became possible with the advent of industrialization. Obadiah Elliott registered the first patent for a spring suspension vehicle. Each wheel had two durable steel leaf springs on each side, and the body of the carriage was fixed directly to the springs, which were attached to the axles. Within a decade, most British horse carriages were equipped with springs. Wooden springs in the case of light one-horse vehicles to avoid taxation, and steel springs in larger vehicles. They are often made of low-carbon steel and usually took the form of multiple-layer leaf springs. Leaf springs have been around since the early Egyptians. Ancient military engineers used leaf springs in the form of bows to power their siege engines, with little success at first. The use of leaf springs in catapults was later refined and made to work years later. Springs were not only made of metal, a sturdy tree branch could be used as a spring, such as with a bow. Horse-drawn carriages and the Ford Model T used this system, and it is still used today in larger vehicles, mainly mounted in the rear suspension. Leaf springs were the first modern suspension system, and along with the advances in the construction of roads, heralded the single greatest improvement in transport until the advent of the automobile. The British steel springs were not well suited for use on America's rough roads of the time, so the Abbott Downing Company of Concord, New Hampshire, reintroduced leather strap suspension. Oh, yo, we got it back. We got leather suspension back. Oh, fuck. Which gives a swing motion instead of the jolting up and down of spring suspension. In 1901, Moores of Paris first fitted an automobile with shock absorbers, with the advantage of dampening suspension systems on his Moores machine. Henry Fournier won the prestigious Paris to Berlin race on June 20th, 1901. Former superior time was 11 hours, 46 minutes, and 10 seconds, while the best competitor was, let's say, Giridot in a Panhard with a time of 12 hours, 15 minutes, and 40 seconds. Coil springs first appeared on a production vehicle in 1906. The Brush runabout made by the Brush Motor Company. Today, coil springs are used in most cars. In 1920, Larry Motors used torsion bars in a suspension system. In 1922, independent front suspension was pioneered on Lancia Lombarda and became more common in mass-market cars in 1932. Today, most cars have independent suspension on all four wheels. The part on which pre-1950 springs were supported is called a dumb iron. In 2002, a new passive suspension component, the inerter, was invented by Malcolm C. Smith. This has the ability to increase the effective inertia of wheel suspension using a geared flywheel, but without adding significant mass. It was initially employed in Formula One in secrecy, but has since spread to wide motor sport. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a history of suspension. Thank you for watching.